Everyone. The iPhone 12 has been out for so many years, and the Samsung Galaxy S24 is one of those phones that I love a lot. It just came out, so let's go and see how both these phones kind of compare and see if there's one that's better for you. Now, if you want to pick up some phones I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both of these phones, the iPhone 12, which came out back in 2020, has a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display on it. Now, I'm a fan of this panel. I think it looks pretty good. And even like so many years later, I think it's a good looking panel because of how modern this phone still looks. I think Apple did some big changes on the outside, not like too many internal changes, but some big changes on the outside. And it's funny because this type of way this phone feels and looks is very similar to how the Galaxy S24 looks 4 years later. The panel itself, though, is pretty good. It's 60 Hz, and you have the notch up top, and it's definitely not the best looking phone of all time. I think we'll look back like 5 years from now and look at this notch and be like, oh my goodness, it was so outdated. But at that time, it didn't really feel that outdated. It still looks like a pretty okay phone, for the most part. The S24, on the other hand, is a much better looking phone. You can see it's removed. There's no notch on it. It's very slim bezels on it. It's basically the same size at 6.2 inches, so it's a little bit bigger. And you're getting a dynamic LTPO AMOLED display here. Now, it's a 120 Hz panel, which looks amazing. I love having 120 Hz. Versus the iPhone 12 60 Hz, it's pretty insane how much better this panel is, and it gets way brighter as well. Like 2600 nits of brightness on its peak brightness is insane, and it's a very good looking phone. But the sides of the phone is something that's actually very interesting because when you're looking at the sides, you can actually kind of tell that for the most part, if you're looking at both these phones, you're actually getting very similar type of styling, which is insane because the iPhone 12 came out so long ago. Like the iPhone 12 came out 4 years ago, and this phone still feels so premium. And that's probably the biggest advantage for the iPhone 12. On the top, 2 microphone holes here, buttons on the iPhone 12 on this side, SIM card tray on the iPhone 12, which is nice to have. On the bottom, lightning port here, USB Type-C on the Galaxy S24, getting the SIM card tray on this side. On the left side, that's where you get the buttons and the power button on the iPhone 12 and the Galaxy S23 and the Galaxy S24. And on the back side, you can actually see you're getting your camera setups. So on the S24, you're getting your triple camera setup, wide, ultra-wide telephoto lens. The iPhone 12, you're getting your wide and ultra-wide camera. Now you're getting wireless charging on both. You're getting a standard glass back on the back of the iPhone 12. With the Galaxy S24, you're getting this frosted glass back. So I love having a frosted glass back. I think it feels very good, and it just holds up very, very well in so many different ways. And it's pretty much one of my biggest advantages of the Galaxy S24 is that it feels so good from that perspective. I think with both these phones, they feel very good. I don't really have that much to complain about from that, side. And I definitely do think if you're getting if you're wanting the more premium feeling phone, I would say maybe the S24 is probably the better way to go. It's probably the one that's going to be more premium. But I think the iPhone 12 is still a very nice phone, and I'm a massive fan of the way the iPhone 12 is held up in so many different ways from that perspective. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. Now, if you're wanting a longer lasting phone, I would probably say from a software side, most of the time, most people would pick up an iPhone over an Android, especially a Samsung. And it's funny because even back in the day, like phones that were like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years old, might end up lasting longer than the Samsung that came out like 2 or 3 or 4 years, before that. So if you look at the iPhone 6S, I'm sure like the 6S kind of still got software support up until like 2022, I think. The Galaxy S10 stopped getting support, I think, before that or around the same time, and that phone came out years after. The same thing with iPhones is kind of the same thing with Androids. But this generation completely changed. The Galaxy S24 is going to be giving you 7 years of software updates. The iPhone 12 may be lasting like another 2-3 years. The S24 is probably going to last 7 years from now. Maybe it'll last even longer. Maybe it'll last shorter. I honestly don't know. But like the S24 at this point is going to be lasting for a very long amount of time. And that is a very big advantage. If you're wanting the newest phone, the S24 is going to be giving it to you, and it's going to be giving you a longer lasting phone at that, which is very, very cool. So that right there is one of the biggest advantages of picking up a device like this. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between them. The Galaxy S24 has that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset inside with 8 gigs of RAM on the base model like this one, but it does go up to 12. The iPhone 12 has the Apple A14 bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one's a faster phone between both. There you go. Let's go and hop all the apps in the background. As you can see, they're all cleared out. So let's get into it. Phone calls, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm already noticing a difference. Let's go into their app stores, 3, 2, 1. Now, this one's going to load up faster. The iPhone app stores load up significantly slower, so it wouldn't be that big of a difference comparing it to another Android phone. But the Play Store just loads up way faster than the Apple App Store. Let's go and get into some third-party applications. We can try something like X321. So I was logged into here, so we'll just kind of log out of that one because it doesn't really matter. I'm try Snapchat. Where are all these applications on my phone? They're like all over the place. Snapchat 321. Okay, 2 different pop-ups, so we'll just kind of let that one go. We can try another one. I'll full access. We can try a different one. Let's go and try some of these games that we have. All right, let's get into this one. Let's go into Snake vs. Blocks 321. Now these games are not even that massive, but they're still super fun to test because they're just very good quality games. The S24 definitely faster, and you can see the iPhone 12 glitched up a little bit there. The Galaxy S24 didn't really glitch up at all as far as I could tell. Let's go hop out of this one. Let's get into another one. We can try Subway Surfers, which I don't have. We can try Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And you can see that between both, the Temple Run 2 and the Galaxy S24 definitely was faster there. The iPhone 12 was slightly slower. So that right there is another big thing. Like if you're wanting a phone that's going to be a little bit faster, potentially the Galaxy S24 is probably going to be the one that's going to be faster in mostly every single way. Even there, I know it was going to glitch up right there, and it did. The S24 did not glitch up as far as I could tell again. Hopping out of these two, so I'm going to get to a different one. We can try Stack 3, 2, 1. And again, these games aren't really that big or massive, but it's just another thing to keep in mind here. And you can see here, I mean, definitely the S24 is faster. The iPhone 12 is a little bit slower. Getting into this one, you can see again, pretty much the same thing, and it's not really that big of a difference when you get into the game, but definitely loading it was definitely a different experience on, basically between both. Standard Temple Run 3, 2, 1. And I can definitely tell you, even from these basic games that I tested, you're definitely going to be getting a faster experience on the Galaxy S24. Even though this one I thought they would get into the same panel, they didn't. Realistically speaking, you're going to be getting a very fast phone between both, but the S24 is definitely going to be the faster one, especially in other types of applications. You're definitely going to be getting a very fast phone on the Galaxy S24. So that pretty much covers it up there. Now from the camera side of things, very decent cameras on both, but the S24 again is going to be better. You're getting a dual camera setup, wide ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 12. Galaxy S24 has a wide ultra-wide and telephoto lens. So definitely a better camera in almost every single way on something like the Samsung Galaxy S24, which again is a really big advantage for this type of device. Now with a phone like the iPhone 12, I would definitely tell you this is a pretty good phone. I think it's a camera that, when it first came out was good, but definitely throughout its age, it definitely hasn't aged that well. I think the iPhone 13's camera was significantly better. This one was fairly grainy. It really wasn't that great of an experience, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this iPhone camera if I'm being honest. You're getting like photo mode, video mode, and like portrait mode and stuff. Now before this, we were getting cinematic mode, which was a pretty big change. Unfortunately, with this phone camera, it really wasn't that amazing, and it definitely wasn't that great compared to the latest and greatest generation, like even the iPhone 13s at the time. The S24, completely different story, definitely a much better camera in almost every single way. You're going to be getting, basically, what's not to love about this phone? 0.6x zoom here, 30x zoom. That's like, 6 times more zoom than the iPhone 12? You're not really ever going to need it, but it's still super nice to have. You're getting portrait mode, which is so nice, video mode, and once again, under more options, you're getting a lot more options built in as well, which is super cool. And you are getting things like Pro Video Mode, you're getting hyperlapse portrait video, like so many cool things that you're getting with this option with this phone, which is really, really awesome. So what I will definitely tell you, in my opinion, a phone like the Samsung Galaxy S24 is definitely going to be the better phone in pretty much every single way. Almost every single way you're going to use a phone, it's going to be better on something like the Samsung Galaxy S24. I think if you're going to go and purchase a device, that is probably the one that would make a majority of sense to go and buy. Now the iPhone 12, I think the only advantage of using a phone like this or buying this is that if you're in the market and if you can buy one or if you have one for a fairly cheap price, then go and keep it. But if you're looking to upgrade, I think going to the S24 is great, or you can upgrade to an S23 or an iPhone 14 or 13 and get a really big upgrade as well. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.